Welcome to the Related Views podcast with me, your host, Ken, aka Big, and my co host, Tony, aka Little. Don't forget to hit us up on social media on Instagram at Related Views. You can find us on YouTube by searching Related Views. And if you like what you hear, please like, subscribe, and most importantly, tell a friend, spread the word. Happy Friday, everyone. It's Good Friday, first night of Passover, Easter weekend. A whole lot of family and friends time and a lot less of hustle and bustle this weekend, right? Tony, how we doing?
I'm doing great, Ken. Excited again. I thought last week was great. Coming off that, go again. Are you saying happy Friday? Do you think it's Friday today?
This is when we drop the podcast on Friday. Really? You thought I didn't know what day it was?
You threw me off on the first one. I'm like, why does he keep saying that? I didn't realize.
I thought you were laughing because I said hustle and bustle. I thought you were going to be like, well, who uses that word?
Who uses that? We'll forget about that. Maybe we can edit that out, but
no, but this is when this drops Friday morning, right? So
yeah.
So if people are getting up Friday morning,
I see what you were getting at.
Yeah, and they're going to be excited. It's good. A lot of people have a day off on Friday, right? So,
yeah, I'm excited for the weekend. I'm taking the day off Friday.
Good. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those weekends that it's a holiday weekend. Nothing gets planned. Nothing gets booked on Easter weekend. So it's just a time to spend with family and friends. And if it's nice out, it's spring, you want to get out in the yard and start doing some yard work. Just one of those that you can make the time your time or your family time. One of those recharge, regroup type of weekends.
I love that time because I feel like so often in my life I'm running around doing this at work. I feel like often I have to put on this personality, and when I'm with my family or you or my parents, I feel like that's when I could be my most authentic self because I know that they just love me and accept me. And so that's my favorite thing about the holidays, just being around those people that truly just deeply, unconditionally love you.
Yeah. And that's what it is. And that's it kind of we talk about your soul and healing your soul and things like that. And that's what that is. That's like that inner healing, just being around people that you can 100% be yourself. And if you've got something on your mind, you don't mind just talking about it. You don't have to worry about who's around and who's listening and who's going to be, make judgments
or use it against you. Yeah. And then I plan, it's funny, I wrote that down. I plan on talking a lot about forms of meditation if we can get into it this week. And you're right, that's one of the forms of meditation, being around the people who love you like that. I think that's what fuels, one of the things that fuels my soul, at least.
Yeah, nice.
Who can laugh when you make silly mistakes about Wednesday to Friday.
Like, oh my God, this guy's losing it.
Anyway, why don't you jump in with your weekly positive?
Oh yeah, I got a bunch of them. I
got like two. So
it's just a great week this week. I talked last week about going to had a card show coming up on the weekend on Saturday, back down to New Jersey. It's my third time doing this card show, so it was just an unbelievable day, an unbelievable card show. And I'm gonna go one step further in the card show. So I'm gonna pick one positive out of the card show. So at these card shows, when you're a dealer, people come to your table, like they come to buy, but they come to trade or sell too. So there's always a lot of people that they show up. Everyone shows up with a case. They've all got cards in their case, all looking to, everybody's looking to trade up or find the things they want.
Make some move.
Yeah, make a move. So, I'm the only guy in the room that generally has tennis and golf in my case. And people come around and they observe what's in your case. And then they'll decide, do I want to show my cards? Maybe he might want to buy something. So this guy came to my table and says, oh yeah, somebody said, come over here. Somebody had tennis. He goes, I may have something you like. And he pulled this card out. Now, the one thing about a card show that I always say is you never know what's going to show up at your table that you really wanted, right? 5 seconds ago, I had no idea this car even existed. And then he pulled it out. I'm like, yes, I really want that card. Right.
I would enjoy that card. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm gonna flash it on the screen. I'll tell you what it is. It's a 2021 Levi's 501 Originals, Naomi Osaka. She's one of the very young, hottest tennis stars right now. So, and it's graded PSA 9, but it was just such a cool tennis card. So I ended up making a deal with the guy and I bought the card and I really liked the card. I threw it in my case. Everybody that came by that day. Now I always have golf in there and I always have tennis, and people, very, very particular people have to come up. This tennis card in that case, everybody commented on it. Oh, can I see? Oh, look at that. How much for that card? And I'm like, no, it's not for sale. I just bought it.
Got it. Yeah.
And I like it too much to sell the card. So I was just so excited to get a card. Like, up until that point, I never even knew that card existed. Now that card brings me happiness, right?
Yeah.
Who knew, right?
That's great.
Yeah. So
I feel like that goes even, I don't know. Well, you said you didn't know that existed.
I had no idea that card existed. And then I came home and did some research on the card once I got home and realized that, kind of how special the card is. There's only this particular card in this grade right here is only a pop 3, which means there's only 3 of these cards that are graded like this that exist right now in the whole world, right? So that's kind of cool to me. And even further, one step further, the guy I talked to was at this event. He went to this event in New York City where they handed these cards out. So he got this card. This was a card that he went, stood in line, he got this card, and then he went and got this card graded. So, and then now I have it. Now it makes me feel good.
Great story. Yeah. That's awesome.
I played a little golf on Sunday. Even after the show Saturday, I got home late and I was tired as heck. I still got up to play golf because that's another one of my, one of my happy places, just somewhere where I like to go. It's for me. It's part of my self-care, and I really want to do it. And, just get out, played 18 holes on Sunday. So that was great.
You went by yourself or with your group?
No, with a group, same group that I golf with. Yeah. And lastly, speaking of golf, so the Masters was this weekend. And so, a couple of weeks ago during the NCAA tournament, and I think anybody listening probably entered into a bracket, right? Everybody enters a bracket somewhere. So we have this neighborhood group, and I finally worked my way into the group. And these guys were doing a bracket for the NCAA tournament. So I jumped in, and, the way they work the bracket, no matter how many people go in, they just figure it out and say, hey, the top 3 are going to get paid this much and the bottom 3 are going to pay them. And everybody in the middle, you don't. And I know sports pretty well, and I really research things. And I filled out a bracket and I was third to last. So I was one of the people in the neighborhood that had to pay the guy in third place, right? So then within a few days, I get this whole other message saying, hey, the Masters is coming up. Who wants to get in? It's $20 a spot to get in. And I thought, well, I can't do any worse than I did with the tournament, right? So I jumped in on the tournament the night before. Because I really don't know many golf players, right? I just really started watching golf. So the night before, I went to Vegas odds. I went online. I looked up the Vegas odds of, who could win, and you had to pick players out of each group. And lo and behold, out of 40-something people, I won. It was amazing that I won. I've never won any bracket. I've never won the
one you didn't know anything about.
The one I knew nothing about, and I said, I'm just going to make an educated decision, right? I'm just going to go and see what the odds, what Vegas, because I know with football, Vegas is so on by like a point or a half a point with all these games. So I said, I'm just going to go there and I'm going to look up the odds, and whoever had the best odds in each group, I'm going to pick them. And I ended up beating people by over 150 points. So I had 455 points. The lady, all right, the lady behind me who was in second place, right? She was at 350. Right, or 340 something, and then the next person to her was at like 305, and then everybody was there. So I was so far out in front, there was like no way anybody could even have caught me. So yeah, It's a great positive. Won some money, right? Finally won a little bit of that money back that I put in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, that's great.
yeah. How about you, kid? I know that's a hard act to follow at Weekly Positives. What do you got?
Hey, mine's so simple. So with the weather going, I got out on my motorcycle last night. Met up with a buddy I haven't seen in a while and did some karaoke. He told me he's having a kid, so it was a cool night. Drank a
Nice.
little bit to it.
Do you sing the karaoke? Do you get up there and sing?
I did not last night, no.
But do you usually? Is that something you would get up
I
and
have
do?
a handful of times in my life. He sang like 4 times. He was trying to serenade all the older women. I got some videos. Maybe I'll be able to post them. But no, I have a handful of times. Actually, I'm going to meet a friend in New York City in 2 weeks. This gal who I haven't seen in a while, but close friend. She came down to visit New Orleans, and myself, and her friend at the time, who also lives in New York City, we all did karaoke. We sang Share Believe, and we got the whole place. The place was packed, and everyone's like, "Do you believe in love after love?" We had like everyone dancing. So
Oh,
I just
nice.
texted her last night. I'm like, you know what we need a repeat of? And she's like, I'll find a place.
It's funny because I really like to sing. And I used to sing in the car until I started listening to podcasts and everything else. I don't even listen to much music in the car anymore. But I remember getting one Christmas getting Kenny this. I was a rock star band or whatever it was. It came with the drums, the
Yeah, it was like
guitar,
Rock Band or Garage Band or
the
something.
mic, yeah, the microphone, and you put it on. Oh my God! Like I was always like, all right, give me the mic. I got the vocals. And I would kill it on. I mean, I know. You could figure it out like anything else, kind of just how to pitch it so you do well,
Kenny was like, "Come on, Dad, my friends are over."
And I got a little like I was thinking about that. I guess it was about a year ago, maybe a year, maybe a little longer. And I don't know what possessed me to go buy. It was American Idol. It was for the TV, right? So it was a game you put on the TV, and you had to get a microphone, and you ran it, and it went in a Wii. I think it was a Wii, right? Because that's all I have. So it must have went in the Wii game, and you plugged in the microphone, and here I am dancing around the living room.
Singing some Santana.
And then Randy Jackson's like, "Oh, dog."
Not for me, man. I
But
gotta tell you, Ken,
it's those little things
awful.
it's those little things like that. I think it's so good for you. I mean, I think it just
let
releases.
go and be yourself and like just open up. Yeah.
Releases so many good chemicals in your body. Like when you're done, like you just feel so good. And so certain things that you do that you feel so good doing that you're like, wow, how come I don't do this more often? And then you think about it, you're like, oh my God, I haven't done that. Like I'm sitting here now. I haven't done that in a year and a half, right? But I really enjoyed doing it.
Yeah, why did I lose on this? So I've been another positive. I right in here. This past week and a half, I've been discovering new music like it's like a floodgate open. Just music I'm really loving. It's crazy. Or rediscovering songs from like my childhood. I'm like, wow, this is great. I forgot about this. And a couple days ago, it's kind of a girly song, but you know the song "Game of Love" with Santana. It's got the girl singing. That came out. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. I replayed it like 10 times. I was like dancing around my back room, like dancing with my dogs, twirling Winnie. But it was like feeling great feels,
Yeah. I used to do that like years ago, getting ready to go out, right? Remember, crank up the music. You brought the radio in the bathroom and cranked it up, and you're taking your shower, you're just getting all pumped up from the night.
They're gonna say you're taking your shots. That too.
Little pregame, right?
Yeah. I don't know. That just gets you in the mood.
Yeah. What else you got over there? You were talking about the universe earlier. About
I think I've been bringing this up a lot, and I think I've just opened my mind to it a lot more in the past couple of weeks. But the synchronicities, the things that most people write off as coincidences, and I don't believe in coincidences, as I've said before, and it's like they just keep coming out. I've been really talking with my buddy who I met last night about the things that are happening around me, that just the way they line up is like statistically, there's no way that's a coincidence. And even last night, some things that happened, and at the end, he goes, if we hadn't been talking a lot and I wasn't here tonight to see the way everything unfolded, he goes, I wouldn't believe it. He goes, if I didn't believe in the universe before tonight, I do now. Just, I don't know, the things the universe sends you. God, if you want to call it the universe, it's all the same force with different names. But
Yep.
Yeah, I ran into my realtor last night at the karaoke place who sold me the house, and it was she's such a loving woman. She came out, just gave me a hug. She's and halfway through she started crying. She was just like, I just love you so much. And it just feels good to see the love that people have for you sometimes. It just made me like love her back. And
Yeah. Was this someone you knew before?
No.
Really? Of all the people your mother knows, you went and found your own real estate person?
Well, it was like my mom's realtor from years ago retired and then hooked us up with this woman.
Oh, okay.
It was like a mutual thing, friend.
Yeah.
But I was one of the very last transactions, whatever she did before she retired. So she was saying this is what she misses because she, knew everybody. And
yeah,
she was so funny. She's like, I gotta hook you up with my niece.
That wasn't Janice, was it?
No, but it was Janice's friend. Like Janice hooked us up with her.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
Phenomenal woman.
Nice. It's nice that no matter where you go, and you always, like I do groups for Tri-Circle, and people come and they leave, and then you're like, oh, I wonder how they are, and you think about certain people in your life that you have that come across your life, right? In any aspect, no matter what it is. And then they go. I find myself like thinking about, and sometimes out of the blue, I'll start thinking about somebody, and then I'll see them, or they'll call me, or they'll email me, or they'll ask me, it's like, I just find it interesting sometimes that I'll think of somebody or something, even a customer, like all of a sudden I'll be driving,
and then they'll pop up.
Going somewhere, and I'll just think about a customer, and I'll be like, oh, well, I haven't heard from them in a while. And then that day or the next day, I'll get an email or a phone call saying, hey, you remember me? I got, and it's just,
yeah. And then it's not even just people. Like how many times you think of a song and then it comes on, or think of this and then you see it, now is the debate I've been getting with myself in the past couple of weeks is that just law of attraction and I'm using my brain, my power to pull it? Or is that a higher power that's sending signals to, it's got to be one or the other, because I don't believe it's a coincidence.
I think it could be a little bit of both, though. I think if you open yourself up a little more, right, you change the way you're thinking, right, and changing the way you're thinking, opening yourself up, and then maybe the universe giving you a little pull or a little push one way or another. I think you have to be open to it, right? I mean,
I just watched a video that said if you're closed off to it, you can't experience it. You won't believe it. You won't see it. It's like it's out of the picture. You literally can't see it. But I believe kind of what you said. It is both, but more so that you, or like me, for me, like I am the higher power. Like that saying, you are the entirety of the universe, just living life as you right now for a little bit of time. Like even that law of attraction is the creative power that the universe is, because the universe is you, in its entirety.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense to you, but
getting real deep.
It's what we like to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, back to the synchronicities, it's like they've been flooding. Like my eyes are open. Like, what do they say? Your third eye has been open. I even started reading on. I brought this up with you a little while ago. Kundalini awakening, where like the end result is like your connection with the universe, and finding your life's goal and passion. And I feel like I've started scratching the surface on that. I don't think I've gone through a whole Kundalini awakening, because you're supposed to never experience like anger or like jealousy or anything ever again, which I still feel emotions. So,
But
but
I think too, just as we age, as we get older, I think we become open to a lot more things, and I think we become. I'm not. I say we, like from my own experience, I think you become more accepting, more, more, less
understanding.
angry.
Yeah.
That you're looking for more of the good in a lot of things versus the negative. Samantha, our guest last week, she said that. I forget the numbers. What was it? 9,000 negative
60,000, I think.
or 60,000 negative thoughts a day, and
Yeah.
90 of those repeat themselves every day. But I would have to think that as we get older, we have more positive thoughts than negative thoughts. I know I do.
Yeah.
At my age, I know when I was younger, I used to have a lot of negative.
Well, it takes work to make that
Yeah,
switch.
yeah. And I worked in a negative environment. I worked around negative people. So it was easy for me. I probably, whatever it was, I probably had, 10 times more negative thoughts every day, just being in a negative environment around negative people,
Yeah.
and it being out of that whole environment now, it's like a whole rebirth to me of it just in my mind too, not even only on my outside and what I'm doing on the outside, but my inside and in my mind, even the way I think. I mean, I just, my train of thought is completely different now than it was a few years ago when I was still working in the prison.
Yeah. I mean, something I was hoping that Samantha brought up, which she didn't last week, when I've had a lot of talks with her, as which kind of directed us into pulling her onto the podcast here. But one thing that really stuck with me, she told me, when you have a negative thought or like anger or any of that, like your brain literally releases a toxic chemical into your body. Like you don't realize it, but that those negative thoughts are it's not just a bad aura. People are like, oh, you're a bad vibe. Like it's literally a toxic chemical that's surging in through your body, and it's only there to harm you.
When I figured out a way, and this is going to be funny, maybe not, maybe if you visualize it, it's funny. But I figured out a way when I start to get negative thoughts, like things are, that I start to feel negative in the car, and I'm like having negative thoughts, and I feel like they're, getting me tense or raising my blood pressure or whatever. Right? I just burst out, yell.
I just get it out.
Literally, I just scream for like 5 seconds in the car. I mean, nobody hears me, but it's just like, ooh, I just released it all.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm fine. I'm like, my whole body just feels like all that negativity. I just yelled it out of my body, right? And it's like a mini reset. I think about like the computer. When the computer's not, I work on computers. When the computer is not running right, what's everybody's go-to? Turn it off and turn it back on again, right?
It. Yeah.
Let's reset it, right? Turn it off, turn it back on. So that's what I just try to throw. Just to me, that's my reset. And then I'm like, and then I smile and I laugh a little and I move on, and I just positive thoughts again. So it works for me.
I saw a post years ago. It was like going to sleep is like the equivalent of resetting your iPhone. Like, go to bed and wake up, or your computer, Have you tried restarting it?
Speaking of sleep, I have a really funny story this week, and I don't think we've even talked about this
We
yet.
did. Is this the tape story?
Oh my God! So since I started doing these podcasts, Sherry and I, walking, we actually started listening when the Holderness family was on The Amazing Race, and then they were doing a podcast. So when we would walk, we started listening to their podcast. So then as I was doing these, I said, this is a perfect time for us when we're done. So tonight, Sherry and I will listen to this before I put it up, and she gives me great feedback on it too, right? So on the nights we don't have anything, now she's finding things. So she finds this podcast, this Dr. Mark Hyman. He's a functional medicine doctor. He founded this ultra wellness center. It's pretty well known. And he had a guest on talking about breathing, like how bad it is to be a mouth breather. And I am a mouth breather, like all day, not even just sleeping all day long. I'm just a mouth breather. For whatever reason, that's what I am. But how bad it is for you, right? And especially sleeping at night. And this doctor said, look, there's such an
what's so bad about it? Did he say?
Well, because when you breathe through your nose, you have all this filtering system
The
that
cilia.
filters all the air before it goes into your lungs and into your body. Right? When you're breathing through your mouth, it's going straight through and in, and there's nothing being filtered. It presents like a lot of gum and teeth issues. Just there's just a lot of negative things that come from that. Um, and he talked about at night there's an easy fix that, like, people who like me who are mouth breathers can breathe through their nose, they just don't, right? There's people with like I have a deviated septum, so I have trouble breathing through one nostril anyways.
Yeah.
But so he says, just take a piece of tape and put it over your mouth. Not like
like close it off, like one.
Not like you're being abducted. You're not talking duct tape or anything, right? You're just talking a little piece of medical tape. Just put it over your lips. Just put it over your lip, and like literally, if you opened your mouth, it would come off, like that type of thing. Just, but enough sticky that it would just keep your lips shut. And put it on and go to sleep. Just get in bed and go to sleep and just try to breathe through your nose, right? So we listened to it, and I'm like, well, that's very interesting. I getting ready for bed that night, and Sherry comes out with a roll of tape, and I'm like, are you serious? She says,
I was wondering why your mustache looked a little patchy today.
just try it. And I'm like, oh, I said, this is never going to work. I'm never going to be able to do this, but I'll try it. So I put the tape over my mouth, and I go to bed, and get up the next morning. I'm like, oh, the tape's still on. Now, if you're a mouth breather out there and you're listening, you go to bed with a glass of water next to the bed every night. I always have a glass of water, because mouth breather, I'm waking up during the night. My mouth is so dry from breathing through my mouth that I need to get a drink, right? So I wake up in the morning, mouth's not dry, and I pull the tape off, and Cherry's like, this was amazing. She's like, you were so quiet last night.
It had nothing to do with the tape on her mouth. It had to do with the tape in her mouth. She's like, yeah, I can sleep.
But she's doing the same thing too. I mean, so this is now this has been since almost a week now that I've been putting tape on every night, and I think she's sleeping better because she's not listening to me mouth breathe all night. She said, I did check on you. You were so quiet. I wanted to make sure you were still alive over there. That's how quiet I was. She said, you were just so peacefully sleeping, with that tape on. So it was just like this little hack, right? A little life hack that we listened to, and, it may improve two people's sleep, right? Mine to sleep better, and hers to not have to be listening to me all night.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
try it. I'm afraid I'm gonna wake up like not
being well, other people we've told now they're trying. I'm waiting for some feedback to see what other people say, because to me, I just thought it was going to be a disaster. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to put this tape on my mouth. And if you're a mouth breather, as soon as your mouth is restricted, you feel like you're choking, right? It's like your brain doesn't know to breathe through your nose, but it does. I mean, if you just put the tape on there, your brain just says, okay, we're going to breathe through.
Not going to let you die.
Yeah. So so just a funny story.
Try it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. It's funny, like, as you listen to other podcasts now, bringing that information to here, and then I wonder if someone's going to take it here and bring it somewhere else. So
bring it somewhere else, and
that passing of information. Even I wonder if someone listening to Sam last week can bring it to that something there, and so, so this age of information is crazy.
Yeah, let's tell our listeners too. We're going to try to, I'm working now on setting up a few dates for guests to bring them in, and just some wellness stuff, and some, just better living.
Yeah.
Stuff that people would be interested in listening to, and get a little bit. That's why I listen to the podcast, right? That's why I started, because I wanted to get a little bit of information. A little bit of life hacks, anything I could find in there, or just general knowledge, that's really interesting to get, just the knowledge itself. When you're young and you're in school and you're getting all this knowledge, right? Then when you're out and there's really, where's the input for knowledge? Where do you draw from to get more knowledge, to get to learn more things? And I found a lot of that with these podcasts. And
podcasts are huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we could start like a baking section. We'll be like Martha Stewart too.
Well, I already have a card. I already have
Yeah.
a sports card lessons podcast. So, you can start
I'll
your
take
thing.
over the bacon. Tony Stewart. Um,
Uh,
cool. So I was gonna get into we can do this one quick. So I feel like we're running out of time, but just the forms of meditation. I brought that up a couple times. I think there's very traditional, like the breathing meditation, but I consider the things that help me to just either think or even not think are my forms of meditation, like going on my motorcycle. I think listening to music is huge. I've had music playing nonstop for, the past couple weeks. It's been so helpful. Your golf, I love getting out there.
yeah.
I don't know, the things that either direct or like, I think the things that direct your mind either this way or that way, but both being positive.
Yeah.
What do you got? You got anything else other than golf? Your
Yeah.
sport?
Like, I live by a few things in my life, and things that I've learned through people and podcasts, things like that. But a couple of things: practice gratitude, right? Instead of look for the positives in everything. And that's really what I try to do in my life. Just find the positives in everything and move forward from there. Just acknowledge people, right? Acknowledge what people are doing, even people you would never acknowledge before. And I throw this challenge out to anybody. Just no matter where you go, I don't care if you're going to a Walmart or to a 7-Eleven or to the movie theater. Just acknowledge people that are working. If they're, no matter what they're doing, hey, hi, how are you, how you doing? Just acknowledge what
It's
they're doing.
contagious too. That love and that
Yeah.
happiness is contagious.
Yeah, people love to be acknowledged, right?
Yeah.
Just being nice to people, try to help people. I mean, we talked with Samantha last week, and I said, and I learned this personally, but it's something that's well known, is the more you help people, the better you feel about yourself. Who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew helping
Well,
other people would make you feel good?
goes right back to the story I told you. Find someone else's balloon.
Yeah.
It's ultimately going to help you find yours.
Yeah. And most importantly, I've learned this through TriCircle, is self-care. Practice self-care. No matter what's going on in your life, figure out a time for whatever your self-care is. To me, it's golfing and other things. What I like to do, I like to walk every day. I make time every single day to walk whatever your self-care is. Start your schedule with your self-care. Start your week when you're putting your schedule on. Start with your self-care things first, and then add everything else to it on top
Those
of
are
that.
the most important.
Yeah, because you're the only one that can take care of yourself, and you're the only one that knows what you need.
Yeah, every morning I start my day now with either on the bike or running, working out. Stretching has been huge. It's another one of my forms of meditation. And I feel great. I don't remember if I talked about this last week, but I can like do all the things I used to do when I was younger too now. Just the stretching and working out, like my body doesn't hurt anymore.
Yeah.
My back still does, but that's going to be forever.
One of the last things I'll say too, and maybe the most important, is just accept the things you can't change.
Yeah.
Right. There's lots of things we can't change. There's lots of people we can't change. We would like things to be a certain way. And if it's not, if you can't change it, just accept it.
That's so much easier said than done. That takes a lot of work.
It does. But I think once you get to a point, and people will say all the time, you're the calmest person in an emergency. Like literally, I've never seen anybody more calm in an emergency than you. And I really figured out that, hey, this has already happened.
Freaking out ain't going to change it.
Yep.
Yeah.
No matter what I do, it's not going to change what happened. But how do we fix it? What do we have to do in this point in time? What do we need to do to correct this or to help this situation or make it better? And then after the fact, let's look back and see how we could have avoided that or changed that,
Yeah.
because I can't change what has happened, but maybe there's something I could have done different, or they could have done different, or that would have made that not happen or not happen that way. Right. I mean,
Yeah.
so just
We call that Captain Hindsighting it.
yeah, but just accept it. Just, you can't, it's not your fault, right? Something's happened. You made a decision. It may have been the wrong decision, right? Whatever the outcome is, let's just move forward from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know there's a lot of people in my life that really, that are worriers. That I know a lot of people that worry about everything, and I worry about nothing. And they're like, they say to me, I don't know how you do that. And I say to them, I don't know why you do that. Right. So we're two different, and I can tell you all the reasons why I don't worry, and they'll tell me all the reasons why they do worry. But I think me not worrying is a little bit more healthier.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to, which wolf are you feeding?
Yeah.
The worry or the bliss one,
Yeah. Yeah. We're only here for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We're only here for so long. So let's make the absolute,
not worry about
it. To me, I want to make the absolute best of it. I don't want to spend my time worrying about things, or, looking to the, I mean, you think about, the old saying is, be in the present. Why be in the present? Because we waste our time looking in the past or things we can't change. Right. Or we're looking into the future of things that have yet to happen. Right. So we might as well be right here in the present, because this is really all that matters.
Yeah.
It's
a great life lesson right there. It tops mine.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe we'll just finish.
That was our life lesson.
Let's just finish with that. That was our life lesson. I'll save mine for next week.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true. Just stay present. Just be in the present. Whatever you're doing right now, today.
Putting your faith into that universe that I keep bringing up.
Yeah. Don't worry about yesterday. Learn from it, but don't worry about yesterday.
Yeah. Acknowledge it, learn from it, move on.
And look ahead till tomorrow. But what you do today is going to determine what tomorrow brings.
Right.
So just be in the present. Good. That was a great episode.
That was awesome. That was the least planned, best episode.
Yeah. See, this reminds me of our old Tuesday morning chats.
Yeah, I know. That was much more like it. Maybe we've been overhandling it.
Yeah.
But
so
anyway,
good. We'll work on some guests, but either way, we'll
be back.
See everybody next week. So I hope everybody has a great holiday weekend.
A great Friday today.
Yeah. No matter what you're celebrating, enjoy your family and friends, and a nice recharge weekend. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. And if you like what you hear, please tell a friend, spread the word. Until next time, be good to yourselves and everyone around you. Anything to add, Tone?
Nope. Keep your chin up. We'll talk to everyone.
I'll see you next week.